Brooks' brand new song stuck in your head in this week's episode of One Piece, as the Straw Hat Pirates go to visit Nekomamushi, the Master Cat Viper. The Straw Hat Pirates also learn the truth about Sanji's family, the Vinsmoke. They're a family of assassins who are connected to a mythical army known as Germa 66. It never ceases to amaze me what the One Piece anime series is capable of. They can take a single panel in a manga chapter and transform it into half of an episode. That's Brooks' brand new song in this week's episode, Let's Go Meet Nekomamushi. It was a scene that, honestly, I was kind of hoping they would expand upon when I was reading it in the manga, as Brook has been very fun the last couple of episodes because he's been adding a lot of atmosphere to the backstories because he's been playing his guitar. And this week, we get a full-blown song all about the greatest qualities of Master Nekomamushi, or at least the qualities that are inspired from him, according to Brook anyway. But it leads to a nice heartwarming scene because we've had a lot of tension lately. A lot of characters have been severely injured and Sanji has left the crew, so I think this was a nice little moment of relaxation. Not to mention there was a scene in the beginning of the episode which, yes, was a complete filler moment, did not exist in the manga version, where the Straw Hat Pirates and the Mink Tribe members of Wanda and Carrot are fighting against these group of giant bugs which are called Suchis, which are essentially like a mixture between a wasp and a bee, and it's basically just an excuse to see all of our favorite characters using a lot of their signature techniques and beating the shit out of these guys. I will say it is really creative with some of the things that they do, like the fact that Luffy manages to use his armament Haki to protect himself from being stung by these creatures, and I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Frankie's glowing nipples of amazingness. The last part of the episode is where things really start to pick up. There are a lot of fantastic scenes. One, Pedro. Love the character. I love when he gets up in Luffy's face with the Garchu just to pass on some information to him. Pedro's a character who's going to be more important as the next couple of arcs go on, so make sure to pay attention to his character. There's also that one really hot-looking member of the Mink Tribe who is a deer, who seems absolutely perfect for Chopper, which of course leads to a lot of hilarity from him, but I think it's really Master Cat Viper who is just the most hilarious in this episode right here. He's so big and scary, but also incredibly cute and cuddly all at the same time. I especially love when he's introduced, he's just sort of hanging out, eating lasagna like friggin' Garfield, and actually singing like a cat to the tune of Beethoven's Symphony No. 5. The good news is that Peckhams is still alive. He was able to use his Devil Fruit ability to create a turtle shell and protect him from the flurry of bullets. He did get hit a couple times, however, but it looks like he's going to be just fine. And that's when he passes on the big information about Sanji's family, a family of assassins known as Germa 66, which, according to Nami, are on like near mythical levels. They're so secretive, yet they exist, they've always been there, and it looks like it's finally coming to the forefront in the next arc of One Piece. So what's the rundown on this week's episode of One Piece? This was an okay episode. Of course, there was a lot of filler in the first half of the episode, not to mention it took 6 minutes just to get into this week's episode. I did like Brook's song, despite the fact that at first it was incredibly repetitive, but I really loved a lot of the imagery that went along with it, and I love the fact that his lyrics are sort of like really embellishing on like the badassery of Nekomamushi, like just sort of focusing on his most manly qualities and not on his ridiculous cat-like qualities. He even says that the lyrics are not wholly accurate, they're all simply just an inspiration because Brook just absolutely loves Master Cat Viper. He's hilarious! The first half of the episode when they're fighting against the bees is okay. It doesn't have the best animation, but it is really cool to see the Straw Hat Pirates actually working together and using all of their unique abilities. And like I said, just Frankie with giant glowing nipples. I mean, really, that's the reason to check out this episode right here. But it's really about that big line drop at the end about Germa 66 and their connection to Sanji's family. Basically, it's just supposed to get the viewer shocked and get them to watch the next episode. And I'm really ready to see the next one. I'm ready to move on from the Zoarc and get ready to go on to bigger and better things. But there still are a few more road stops and a few more characters to be introduced in the Zoarc, so we're going to have to get through that. I will say, though, that we're finally starting to move in a good direction. That being said, this was an okay episode. It was very atmospheric thanks to Brook's song, which managed to be both enduring and really funny all at the same time. You got a little bit of action with the bugs at the beginning of the episode, and of course you get all of those great Garchu and Mink Tribe moments at the end of the episode. Sexy deer, Pedro rubbing up against Luffy's face, and Master Cat freaking Viper. I can't believe they actually made him eat lasagna. It's already enough that he looks a lot like Garfield. They're transforming him into that character at this point. I'll say this, Toei Animation is going to sell so many Master Cat Viper plushies. And so there it is, that's my thoughts about this week's episode of One Piece. It was an okay episode, very average, middle of the road, but still had a lot of great memorable moments, so I can definitely recommend this to every fan of the One Piece series. It's an episode that you should at least watch once. I'm going to drop a 3 out of 5 on this one. Check it out, One Piece fans, you might see something you like. If you did watch the episode, please tell me what you thought about it in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching this review. Make sure to like the video, leave me a comment or two, and of course, subscribe for more. I will see you guys next time, and as always, stay dandy, baby!